Hey folks, this is Rob again with Faster Skunk Racing. Today we're going to take a look at a lap around Carolina Motorsports Park, and in this case, yes, as you can see on the screen, the brake indicator is non-functional. So before we get into it too far, let's take a look at a quick lap, and then we will start talking through it. So across start finish right there, we're going to be far right. It's going to be a little bit of a late apex, and then we're going to try to make 1, 2, and 3 about as straight as we possibly can. I did that wrong. You can be way more flat there. Coming down this little straight chute here, this is entering into the carousel. It's going to be left. You're going to stay a little bit more track left so that you can widen out the entire carousel. This is going to be a little bit of a patient turn. I turned in way too early there. But the idea is to make this backstretch as straight as humanly possible so you can be on the throttle, full throttle, as long as humanly possible, all the way down. This next turn, we're going to detail this, but this is where I see a lot of drivers lose time because you transition from downhill to uphill, which means you can hold a lot more braking and a lot more turning for more speed than you really think you can. Now we're coming up to the kink. This is just how brave are you. If you're willing to end up in the sand, you can go a lot more brave. This turn is also an area where I see people lose a lot of time. So see how late I turned in there? This is also going to make this last section here a lot more straight, which means you carry more speed. The name of the game at Carolina Motorsports Park is patience. Patience to be able to carry more speed and more G-forces through every single turn more consistently. Final turn here, we're coming around and we end up a little bit of a late apex, but again, how late can we go so that we stay on throttle as long as humanly possible? Alright, so we finished our first flyer lap. Now let's start breaking this thing down. So we're across start finish here. We're fully track right. We're watching access roads for a turn-in marker. So we just came past that one, and we're starting to turn in a little bit gently, but we're still not fully in until the end of the curbing. The goal here is to be a little on the track left side so that as we come around, we're not fully track left on the end of turn 2. This is going to help straighten out turn 3 a little bit so that we can get back on the throttle as soon as possible. The downhill is going to let us build speed really quickly. However, on the entry to the carousel area, we're back uphill, so we've got a little bit more help on braking and G-forces into the turn. Around the top of the carousel here, it's again, like I said earlier, a little bit of a game of patience as to where we actually want to initiate our turn in. So as we start this turn in, which I do entirely too soon here, it doesn't really allow me to get fully back on throttle until a little later than I'd really like to. This is going to let me carry speed down the hill all the way into turn 8. Turn 8 is pretty important because it actually allows you to carry more speed than you'd think just based on the fact that it transitions from downhill to uphill and it has a little bit of camber to the inside of the corner. So when I'm doing, 67, 68, I should really be doing 71, 72, maybe even 75. So as we come off the backstretch here, we're approaching the kink. The kink is an incredibly important part of the track because it really just depends on how brave you are as to how fast you go across this section. It takes that bravery because you have to hit a little bit of curb, and that tends to want to upset the suspension and balance of the car. Best case, you approach it with a lot of speed and you carry that speed. Worst case, you end up basically going into the sand, or as we affectionately know, Weatherford Beach. The next turn here, you are approaching and turning in very late. What this is going to do is it's going to help you set up for the next carousel section, but by turning in late, you can see that we're able to set up very much track left. You can be a little bit track mid, but you really want to be on the left side of the track to carry as much speed as humanly possible. The other upside here is that you're able to set your corner up in such a way that the entire way through the corner you are starting with the tightest part of the turn and continuing to open yourself up to full throttle. As you approach this final turn here, your goal is to again turn in late and to be set up to come around, use the full width of the track, and maybe even sacrifice a little bit of turn 1 to maintain speed across start-finish. Alright, so we've now done a lap, we've done the walkthrough, let's put it all together. We've come around the final corner, which is arguably the most important corner because it impacts both the previous lap and the next lap. So let's go. Start, finish, waiting for the second access road, turn in, a little bit of a pinch there, make the next one a little broad, still track right, carry as much speed as possible through turn 3 because we've got a little bit of a straight stretch, transition from downhill to uphill, back hard on the brakes, turn in left, stay a little track left around the top of the carousel, pulling as much lateral G's as humanly possible throughout this entire corner, but still making sure we do a little bit of a late turn in. You don't really need to hit that curb as long as you're back full throttle before you are back on the straight. Downhill, gathering speed very, very quickly, one of the fastest parts of the track. Track left, transitions downhill to uphill, lots and lots of G-forces, lots of braking forces onto the backstretch. Entering the kink, let's see how much speed we can carry, how brave do we feel, how much grip do we think we have, a little bit of a lift, still on the throttle, make sure the car's nice and balanced, back over, working our way track right, late turn in, stay a little bit on the track left side, set ourselves up for the next little carousel section, tighter turn in, start opening the steering wheel up as we come around, back full throttle as quick as we possibly can to carry as much speed as humanly possible all the way back to the final corner. Final corner, late turn in, swing out wide, much speed as humanly possible. Even if we need to sacrifice corner entry after this lap, if we think we're on a flyer and we think we're as fast as humanly possible, just let it happen. So that's a quick lap walkthrough with the Faster Skunk Racing team in the 2018 Audi RS3. If you've got a faster way to handle this lap, please don't hesitate to post in the comments and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.